Well, I believe disclosure is going to happen this year. We already know that Donald Trump has called on the intelligence community to start releasing their classified information on UFOs and UAPs. Not only that, but if you've been watching my channel, then you're already aware that our government has purchased the domain aliens.gov. Now, it's not yet gone viral, but I believe it's something that they intend to use here in the very near future. Not only that, but it kind of brings me to my point of today's video. And that is that a former senator has all but confirmed that aliens and UFOs do exist. In fact, he's going to expand on an alien hybrid program. No joke. Not only that, but we even had Barack Obama came out and he said aliens are real, then kind of backtracked it later. We've got a leader in Australia kind of confirming what our former senator has said. And not only that, but Vance has even weighed in on the action with his own conclusion on UFOs. But in the midst of all of that, what makes it even more intriguing for me and why I'm leaning more on this disclosure is coming soon is because 9 scientists linked to really advanced technology, and some of them even linked to UFOs, have now died. In fact, I did a report a couple of weeks ago detailing that 5 scientists have died. Well, that number is massively increasing because we've now got 9 scientists who are dead or missing in action, quite frankly. I've got a lot to share with you in this broadcast, but as a quick reminder, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure you have that all bell button checked and share this video with everyone you know. But let's dive in first to what the former senator said on an interview that he did. And this former senator is Matt Gaetz. And I trust a lot of what he says. He's been pretty spot on in the past. But take a listen to what he tells Benny Johnson here in this interview. And this is recently, by the way, March 31st.
I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Wow. So he's going to expand on that, and I'm going to forward this up a little bit to about 36-second marker, but basically he's saying, hey, some guy came up to me, briefed me on the fact that there's a hybrid program. Of course, this shocks Benny Johnson, and he's like, what the heck are you telling me? Expand. Here's what he says.
I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army, came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there. And what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened.
Rather intriguing, to say the least. So hybrid programs potentially happening all across the U.S., but that's not all. I've got another senator in Australia that kind of piggybacks on that, not to mention some crazy statements, if you will, from Vance regarding UFOs. But before I dive in, I got to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Noble Gold Investments. You see, when's the last time you actually held your investment in your hand physically? Not just checked an app or watched a number on a screen, but actually physically, tangibly held it. That's what I love about gold. It's real, it's tangible, and it belongs to you. You don't have to worry about any password or any kind of login or a 6-digit code. In a world that is getting far more digital and more complicated, gold is very simple. And Noble Gold Investments makes it very simple and easy for you to have gold in your pocket. They deliver it directly to your door in unmarked packaging, and you can pick it up, they ship it, and it is all insured. I want to encourage you guys, if you want to get your hands on some tangible gold and silver, go to lisahavengold.com and give them a call. at the number on the screen, 1-877-646-5347, and let them know Lisa Haven sent you when you talk to them, because right now they are giving away this 1/10 ounce gold coin that you see on the screen here with any new and qualified account. So make sure you bring that up, or go to lisahavengold.com, fill out this information, click email me my wealth kit, and they're going to send you a free wealth kit, absolutely free. And by the way, there's always a risk to investing. They're never a guarantee. If you want more information, click that more button or click the link in the description box below. All right. So with all of that, obviously what Matt Gaetz is saying here is quite bombshell. To have 6 to 8 different locations with hybrid breeding programs. Now, he can't verify it, as he said there, but this is what he was briefed on. Now, one could suggest that maybe this is some kind of ploy to Matt Gaetz to say, kind of throw him off guard. Let's make him look like an idiot or whatever, and let's feed him this info. It could be something like that. He could have been lied to. Or it could have been someone actually telling him the truth about the programs. Either way, I guess in the end, hopefully, we'll eventually find out through some type of disclosure. Now, I know today is April Fool's Day. That video, by the way, was not shared on April Fool's Day. That was March 31st. So I don't think it's any kind of April Fool's joke. But what is interesting is a senator out of Australia came out and kind of piggybacked on top of what Matt Gaetz said, and here it is. And this is Senator Babbitt. I wish I could say more, but unfortunately, everything I know about the alien hybrid program is classified. Let's just say some of you would be very surprised who's not entirely human, he says. That's all I'm authorized to disclose at this time. Now, whether or not he's legit about this, I don't know. That was posted on the same day that Gaetz's thing came out. But what's interesting is he put this out shortly thereafter that post, hinting that it could very well be an April Fool's joke, at least on his part of it, not on Matt Gaetz. And here's what he wrote here. Here's the video he put out. He goes, yes, aliens are real, and they're already here. Or he says, yes, aliens are already here. I was briefed by intelligence this morning on a developing situation. Details are highly classified. Australians will understand soon enough. Stay calm. And he goes on to sidekick it with this. Was it just an April Fool's Day joke, or was it another psyop to throw you off the truth while we carry on the alien human crossbreeding program? You'll never know. In other words, I'm never going to give you the full information on it. So I'm going to lean more for him. It's some kind of April Fool's joke, which I think is downright disgusting to do to the people, especially on a topic that is highly classified. Just my 2 cents there. But I don't believe that is what's going on with Matt Gaetz here, because that wasn't done in any way, shape, or form on April Fool's. But needless to say, J.D. Vance has weighed in on the option. Take a look at this. This is on The Guardian. J.D. Vance says aliens are demons and details obsession with UFOs. And here's what he states. Vance appeared on the conservative podcaster Benny Johnson's show, released on Saturday, to promise that he would spend time looking into what he called his obsession with UFOs and ET visitors. Now, Benny Johnson, who calls his show the place for cutting edge, behind the scenes insight into the global conflict for freedom, wondered if Vance, who had been noticeably quiet about Donald Trump's war there in the Middle East, had yet to look at the files about UFOs, right? Also known as UAPs. And here's what he said to Benny Johnson. This is a direct quote from J.D. Vance. I actually haven't, Vance replied, mustering significant more enthusiasm than for any previous question about the U.S.-Israeli military strikes on Iran. I've not been able to spend enough time on this, but I am going to. Trust me, I am obsessed with this. Then he goes on to expand and he says, I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion, Vance said. And Johnson asked him, please expand on that, right? And he goes, well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything is otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. Every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about that sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go, is the Christian understanding of that. You know, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also evil out there. And I think that's one of the greatest tricks of the devil, is to convince people he never existed. So obviously he thinks that potentially aliens do exist, but they're more along the lines of what the Bible calls it. And that would be the fallen angels, the demons, and all of that. Now, all of you know, if you've been watching me for years, I've had this channel since about 2013. I believe in UFOs. I do believe they exist. I do believe they are real. And I do take more of that biblical stance. I believe they're fallen angels, demons, Nephilim. In pretty much a majority of religions, there's all kinds of talks, shall we just directly say it, about alien hybrid programs in the Bible and in the extra biblical text, the book of Enoch. They both describe fallen angels having sex with humans and forming this Nephilim offspring of giants. And according to some historical records, there are giant bones that we have seen in our past historically. There's a lot of great stuff on that. L.A. Marzulli has a lot on that. I believe Quayle does as well, but Steve Quayle does as well. But I take that standpoint that they could be interdimensional, that they could absolutely be there. I believe they're messing with DNA. Obviously, they want to play God in some way, shape, or form. And we can't really deny the technology that exists out there. You know, some of the amazing technology, the way that they cut stones back then, something had to exist. And in the book of Enoch, it talks about these fallen angels sharing technology with the humans. And obviously, God frowned upon that, caused the flood, cue Noah, Enoch, and the whole 9 yards. But anyway, many people, I do believe, think that is going on. But here's the deal. There's all this talk right now of disclosure. There has been for over the past year, shall we say like 9 months-ish, where Donald Trump is saying we need to start releasing information. Obama has came out and said aliens are real, then backtrack it. JD Vance is now saying, well, they are, but they're UFOs. And then Matt Gaetz is out there saying that, he's been briefed on some kind of program, but we can't verify it yet. All but basically confirming that UFOs exist. Well, in the midst of all of that, over the past 9 months, 9 scientists have either gone missing or now dead, and they advance in the fields of major technological advancements and UFO-style technology. Some could claim that maybe some of that technology could have been gained from some kind of UFO tech, but now 9 are missing. Now, I put out a report on Restricted Republic a couple of weeks ago talking about Trump's UFO disclosure to come, scientists that are missing, and I really hope Donald Trump gives us that disclosure. But there were 5 scientists at the time of the making of this video, and that was on March 23rd, and here we are on April Fool's Day. Excuse me. All right, so April Fool's Day, and now 9 scientists have been tallied up so far. It's like they're dropping like fries, right? Something dark is going on. 9 top-level scientists die or go missing in the past year. In the span of 9 months, 9 top-level scientists in the U.S. have died or vanished without a trace. 7 of them, 7, were connected to the Air Force Research Laboratory or the institutions that directly fund them. Now, that is creepy. And basically, this is linked to some of the most sensitive aerospace technologies in the United States of America in our defense arsenal. So we're talking about some pretty high up people, right? So for example, let's start here at the top. Monica Reza, I've talked about her before. She was basically walking and hiking with friends. She was 30 feet behind one of their friends and just disappears out of nowhere. As of the making of this video, they've not found her body. She was an aerospace engineer and technical fellow at Rocketdyne, who later moved to NASA's Jet Propulsion right? And the co-inventor of Mondaloy, which is a real cool kind of based super alloy, right? But anyway, she was fairly close with this guy at the bottom. I'm going to kind of skim through these. And this is not that one, but this one right here. William Neal McCasland. He is a former AFRL commander, former researcher commander at Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico. He also went missing without a trace. He had some stuff on him and some stuff he left, but they haven't been able to find the body, and he is yet MIA. And the 2 of these did work together, by the way. So him and Reza there. The second one, and this is a new one that I have not brought up before in my prior post, Melissa Cassius. She's also been missing in New Mexico, and it goes on to talk about her job. She was an administrative assistant to the Los Alamos National Laboratory, and it is known for nuclear weapons research and national security science. Then we have these 3. This is a hard pill to swallow, this one is, but Jacob Pritchard, Jamie Pritchard and Jaime, or Jamie or Jaime, probably Jamie, Gustus, all died on October 25th, 2025. And basically, here's the story. Jacob Pritchard, he was the acquisition project manager in the AFRL Sensors Directorate at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base there in Ohio, right? He worked with technologies in air and space, reconnaissance and surveillance. And then his wife, right, she was a financial specialist at the Air Force Life Cycle Management, also at Wright-Patterson. They had 3 kids. My heart goes out to them. Gustus, Air Force Operation Analyst officers who worked on top secret capacity in the 11th Human Performance Wing at Wright-Patterson. Now, here's what happened. Jacob killed his wife, Jamie, placed her body in the trunk of his car, drove to Sugar Creek Township, broke into Gustus's apartment, and fatally shot her around 2 a.m. Then he drove basically to the municipal building, opened up his trunk, and showed the body to the police officer, and then committed suicide. At least this is the story we are being told, and they are saying it has been caught on security cameras. That's downright creepy, to say the least, and terrifying. But what would cause one of them to shoot the other and then himself, I don't know. Then we have Carl Grillmar. I talked about him before. He is an astrophysicist and astronomer at Caltech Processing Center. He was shot dead on his front porch. That was a straight up murder. I already talked about that one. Nuno Gomes, a Portuguese plasma physicist, fatally shot in his home as well. Just shot and murdered. Then Jason Thomas, a chemical biologist. He went missing after leaving his home without his ID, and basically he's been missing ever since. And there are the 9. So, needless to say, it is getting more and more intriguing. That it was scientists, they're just dropping like flies now. And my question is, what is it they're trying to hide? We all know that this disclosure is potentially coming soon, hopefully this year. And hopefully it's not more of the same crap that we've already heard. Hopefully it's actual disclosure. And doesn't look like the files they released prior. But anyway, I guess we won't know until it actually happens. But with all of that, speaking of conspiracies, I want to encourage you, if you really want to be in the know, get to restrictedrepublic.com. We've got a lot of inside intel we're sharing there. Lots of great information about what is going on in society. Some of those conspiracies. I'm going to be doing a huge report today that's exclusive to Restricted Republic on that platform. So I want to encourage you guys, go there, sign up right now. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. It's a great way to really get involved. But anyhow, with all of that, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.